multiple sides, revenue side, expenditure side. We got to we cannot rest. But in budgeting, there are two objectives we try to achieve. One is allocation efficiency, the first one. The second one is operation efficiency. Allocation efficiency is to ensure that we're allocating monies to our priorities. And in doing so, we start with the overarching plan, the National Development Plan, the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development. It's a roadmap to take Liberia to lower middle income status by 2029. We have pillars. All of you are in the Arrest Agenda with interventions. When we align the budget with the AARD, we're achieving allocative or allocation efficiency. We are aligning the budget to our core priorities. We know that every year there will be new things that will instrument that you should go to is the AARD. What you told us, what we agreed, those interventions and programs, before you bring new things, you must tell us what you have done with the old things. So we've told our budget technicians and officials to ensure that the budget, 2027 budget, as was the case with this year's budget, is aligned with the AARD. So all of you heads of entities here in DMA, please make sure go to the AARD, find the interventions that relate to you, and that should be your point, your starting point. You can bring new things later, but we will start. It's the default. It's the default. I have my assistant minister for planning, Honorable Bachu, and others who have been given strict instructions to ensure that this alignment works. Because we must align the budget with our core priorities. You know the priorities in the budget. You know the interventions. We have flagship projects in the AARD. The other thing we must ensure is operational efficiency. What do we mean by that? Yes, we can give the money, but where do we spend the money? We have to ensure that we are spending efficiently and effectively, that we are delivering service with the least costs. So through procurement and other means, we have to ensure that the government is not shortchanged. So in execution, we at the Ministry of Finance, and we urge heads of entities and DMAs and what have you, to ensure that the dollar that you've been allocated translates to impact. So every dollar must show that we're making progress. It is not only our responsibility at the Ministry of Finance, it is your responsibility, especially heads of entities and DMAs, controllers, procurement officers, and everyone in the chain. So we urge you to continue to do that. The Ministry of Finance will continue to be supportive. Now, when we craft the budget is for 12 months. 12 months. So plan well. If you do not plan well, you are setting the stage for budget execution that will not be on target. We don't want to have a situation where when we pass the budget, just in January, people bringing requests to us for more money for something. Yes, we know that we don't have the crystal ball to see everything that can happen in 2027. But those things that we can predict, let us plan for them. And we are also going around, even the counties, getting our own data. In the budget preparation process, yes, we're going to read what you submit to us. But sometimes, spending entities have a way of not prioritizing some core priorities from their sector. And so those things hit us in budget execution. So when you come to us with your requests, we will act like what happened in the Bible when this prophet, I think it was Prophet Samuel. I see some religious people here. Please correct me if I'm mistaken. You went to, I think Jesse, right? The father, and asked for a child to be anointed. And Jesse, the father, brought the children that he considered priorities. Priorities. So the father was the head of a spending entity. He brought the priority. And the prophet looked at them, and then the prophet asked a question. Are these all your children? Are these all your children? When the prophet was doing that, the prophet was a budgeter. So our people will ask you, are these all your children? Because we know some of your children. We've gone in the county, we've seen some things. And if you come and you leave your Joseph on the farm, and you say this, we'll ask for the Joseph. And if you don't bring the Joseph, we'll put the Joseph there. Yes. We will do that. We'll do that because if we don't do, and we say we'll give you a budget, then in March, then you start rushing to us, yeah, Joseph's problem. Then you want extra money. It causes distortion in the budget. We have something called contingency reserve that should be helping us to deal with contingencies. Because no matter how much you plan, you cannot predict the future 100%. But historically, contingency reserve is never ever too high. We usually exhaust contingency reserve by April. It will lock in May. So at this point now, and let me say this, every request that comes to us for extra money, we don't have free place to go. So we have to look in the budget. It's a painful process of finding who is the Peter to rob to pay Paul. Who is the Peter to rob to pay Paul? And when the request comes, spending entities don't care for us at Finance. All they say is that we've requested for money. They don't care as to how the money is cut. So we go through the painful process. Who to rob? And we do so within the context of the Budget Transfer Act. We have ceilings we can't go above. But while we're struggling to get the resource, is the finance is delayed. It's not easy to cut anyone's budget. to satisfy you, because all of you here have your priorities. Sometimes it's a negotiation process. But don't cause us that distortion if we can avoid it. So one of the things that we're implementing, those that are bringing extra requests, the first place to cut is to go in their own budget. So the extra requests that are coming now, we're going to you to give to you. So know that we don't have any free money sitting there somewhere. So you bring the request. Some of the things that you don't want to spend or you keep it, we'll take it from there. And you say it is you have reprioritized your priorities. So we go to you to give to you. We'll go to you to give to you. So please control this process. I've urged the heads of ministries and DNAs to get involved. Don't just leave it to your controller. Understand these things. Have regular budget management meetings. Let them tell you what is happening. But as we do this, the only thing that can save our lives is the revenue side. Yes. We want to be able to give you as much as you request once it is a priority. Once you bring your jerseys, although you didn't bring jerseys in the preparation process, it is other than Joseph, rather. Although you didn't bring Joseph in the preparation process. Oh, David, rather. Sorry. David, in the preparation process, we will have to find a means, because David is very important. Very important. But what we urge you to do is to give us information, share information, and we will aid you to make sure that the budget we craft is efficient. So, thanks to all of you again. Thanks to the budget team. As we start the process, we are very certain that we're going to achieve the targets that we set. Between now to October, we're going to have budget hearings. After this process, we agree with you on what we are going to spend. Yesterday made it exactly in this period, we've achieved a lot. But on the 6-year journey, there's much more we can do. And we will do. Our detractors, our critics, who are very useful for our performance, because we're in a democratic space, they will point to the things we haven't done yet. It's a 6-year journey. There are parts of this journey we haven't traveled yet. So they will point to what we have not done. You've done much, but there are things you have not done. So we'll set about to ensure that we deliver on our promises in the coming years. There's much more to deliver. So I urge you all to work together. We are a team. Yes, I know that the Constitution does not mandate. You check the Constitution, it mandates many things. But it does not mandate that people working in government. Professor Professor Toba and others, the closest to the Constitution, they will read the Constitution. Each other. Work with each other. In government, if we don't work with each other, we will not succeed. We're all on this rescue boat. Every entity is important for our success. Every entity. And so we have to backstop each other and not backstab each other. We are required to work with each other. We are required. Whether you like the person or you don't like the person, that's your issue. The Constitution does not say you must like. The entities, civil service regulation does not say you must like. You must work with. And we must work with each other, do not support each other. The achievements we have made so far is because we are working with each other. So let's keep it that way. So thanks again. The president is happy with the progress we've made. This engagement. You will have me say thanks to all of you. And in spite of all the challenges, every institution of government is doing its part. Thank you. May God bless us. And may God
That was the Honorable Minister of Finance. Another hand of applause. PJ, you can play out small music while we set up for the photo.